Hello, everyone. Hello, everybody, and welcome in. Hello, ladies. Can you hear and see me? Okay. Hi. Hello, natives. Hello, Adalisa. Oh, I love that name. Brenna, so good to see you. Jackie, I see Patty. I see Neela, oh my goodness. Cynthia, welcome in, everyone. I'm so happy. I'm so happy to see you. Hi, Manira. Oh my goodness. Sylvia. Ah, I'm so freaking excited. Can you tell? Can you tell? I hope you are all doing so amazing. I hope you're excited to get ready to say yes. I mean, can you imagine that there is an event that we are co-creating together that is all about you owning your desire, getting yourself ready, becoming the woman that is all energetically open in the vibes of receiving her whatever it is that you want. Now, this particular event is in the context of getting engaged, getting married. But I really want you, and I said this to my list when I sent it out, that it gets to be anything and everything for you. Even if you're married, you're welcome here. Even if you are in the process of manifesting something completely different, you're welcome here because the energy of yes is about you and getting what you want, what you desire in your life. So I hope that you allow yourself to unapologetically just let yourself get into that vibe of I want to finally be in the energy that I can call in and be the woman that claims and receives what she wants the most in life. And that is what we are here for. This is what we are here for. This event is in celebration of my number 200 client in my community who let me know that she got engaged to her soulmate. And to be honest with you, there are a lot of people in my community that they told me like years later that they are engaged. They took my program and they are engaged. And some people never tell me, but I do have this log for myself to whenever I get a testimonial or a message from a client that I put it there because it really anchors me and reminds me of why I do what I do. When a woman tells me that this is what something that she wanted, she desired, and she was trying to figure it out, and I played a part in it, whether it is, through my personal coaching, one-on-one coaching, or doing a free masterclass. I don't care. I don't care how it ends up to be, but the fact that I was able to be a little light in their life, it means the world to me, and it really makes me excited to continue to do what I do. And although I coach on so many different things, to be honest with you, this is my absolute favorite thing. This is what I started with, relationship coaching, and this is still the thing that to me means the world. Because as much as I love any accomplishment in life, whether it is in your business, whether it's money, whether it's health, whether it is whatever it is, I think at the end of the day, the quality of our lives, like Tony Robbins says, is depends on the quality of the relationships that we have. And for a woman to be in love with the relationships that she creates in her life, whether it is in romantic relationships, friendships, relationship with her parents, or whatever it is, it just gets me so freaking excited. It gets me so happy because that was the missing thing for me. If you're brand new to me, and let me know if this is the first time you're doing something like this live with me. I'm so excited to know if you're new and if you are, or if you're an OG, you've been here, you're new. Hi, Jackie. Thank you for being here. Thank you for trusting me. Um, and some of you have been with me. I can recognize your names from a while ago, and some people that are working with me. So I'm just grateful for every single one of you. My name is Sharzad Parande. Yes, Julie, I remember you, of course. And I am a certified dating and relationship coach. I'm also a trauma-informed practitioner. And since 2017, that's when I became a certified relationship coach by Rory Ray. And I'd left the world of corporate behind. I have a master's degree in civil engineering. I worked in the corporate world for 11 years, and it was a great journey for me. It was a chapter that I will never ever take for granted because being a student in university really taught me how to be a great student, how to actually learn what I'm learning and implement it into my life. And working in the corporate world, well, it brought some of the greatest friends that I have in my life right now. It also allowed me to travel the world. It was a job that it required me to go everywhere, basically. And at the end of it, I met my husband in the place that we work with after years of struggling in relationships, after years of being the girl that was always good enough to be someone that men either had a good time with, to at maximum give me the girlfriend status, but never more. And that this process was the most frustrating thing in my life because it felt like I knew the code to success in everything except when it came to relationships. And I knew how to work hard. I knew how to get what I wanted. Now, granted, my level of life, like what I thought was possible, is very different from 11 years ago. This was when I left, when I met my husband in November 15, 2013, went on our first date together. But um, it was very different what I thought a expansive life looked like. But I was happy. I had the master's degree. I had a good job. I bought my own house. So I was really happy with the level of achievement that I had. But when it came to love, it was this thing that I couldn't figure out, even though I was the nicest girl out there. I was the most accommodating girl out there. Like my mama taught me, I knew how to make a man feel important, how to make a man feel like he's the center of my life, and I will do anything and everything for him. And who can relate to that? Like you give it your all to the relationships that you have. You become this master molder. You mold into anything and everything that a guy wants, yeah, right? And they're like, yeah, you're really nice. I'm just not ready yet. I just don't feel it. I just don't feel it. Like, and they would either like be happy to just to stay in a relationship that went nowhere with me, or they wanted out. And then some of them quickly would, after they were done with our relationship, would go and very quickly commit to another woman, to be in a committed relationship, in get engaged, get married, and it just made me go bananas, to be honest with you. I lost my mind. What am I doing wrong? So what is it? It must be me. Okay, my Siri is talking to me. But because she doesn't even know what I was doing wrong, but I know what I was doing wrong. Now I know what I was doing wrong. But the truth was, is like, okay, well then it's me because he is getting engaged to someone else. There is another woman. Is she prettier than me? Is she younger than me? What does she have that I don't have? What does she do that I don't? And it was really, really difficult. And it wasn't until my very last relationship before I started my relationship with my husband that I got to the lowest of lows in any of my relationships. And some of you may know my story, but I had found myself that I was in a relationship unknowingly with a married man, a man who was having an affair with me without me knowing. And when I figured out, when it became clear to me, it was a moment that shattered everything. The moment that I found myself, like it sucked. It sucked the life out of me. I'll never forget it. It was June 15, 2013. And I was in San Francisco where he lived. I live in Toronto, so it was a long distance. That's how he kept it a secret. And I had gone to see him, and then he broke up with me. Um, and and that all along for about 10 months or so, he had he had went on with this relationship and lying to me. And I found myself at the bathroom floor. I hadn't eaten for 3 days. I hadn't drank for 3 days. It was just like from the bed to the toilet, sorry for the graphics, like throwing up. Like I was at the bottom of the barrel. Like there was nowhere else to go because I'm like, how did I get here? How is it that no matter how hard I try, one relationship, the next one is worse than the last one. At least in the past relationship, I was in a relationship with someone that was in a relationship with me and no one else, even though I wasn't good enough for them to commit to me, even though I would give and give and give, and they would give this much back, if anything. But now I'm in a relationship, if you can call it that, that I was another woman. And that feeling really disgusted me, to be honest with you, with myself. I felt absolutely disgusted that this was happening to another woman, that was his wife. But how the hell did I get here? And after going through that bottom, rock bottom, um, and I came back to Toronto. I actually, at the time, I was still, I had my own place. I bought my own place, but I was renting it out and I was still living with my parents. But, and in Iranian culture, it is very normal for a girl and even for a guy to stay with their parents until they get married. However, I did move out, later on, but I couldn't go home. Like, I just couldn't go to my parents because I couldn't stop crying. I couldn't stop being normal. I couldn't hide it. And to tell my parents that, oh yeah, the reason is because I just found out that I was the other woman in someone else's, I just couldn't handle it. So I went to a hotel. I booked in a hotel in Toronto, and I was continuing what I was doing in San Francisco, just from the bed to just maybe order some room service. And then after like 3, 4 days, I started to actually get out of the hotel and just go outside to just start to come back to life a little bit. And during the time that I was alone, really alone, I came to a realization, and this is not earth-shattering. It's not earth-shattering, but it was at the time for me, that not from a victim place, but from a place of truth, that I realized I am the damn denominator in every single relationship that I've been a part of. Every single time that I've gotten my heart broken, the faces change and multiple faces have changed. But it's all, I'm the constant. I'm the one here that this is all being presented. And so obviously there are other people. I have friends that are in relationships. I know people that are being chosen to be wives and their husbands are treating them really well and we're happy to commit to them. All of my cousins, every single one of my cousins. I am the third oldest, and I have a lot of them. And ones that were much, much younger than me were getting proposed to and they were getting engaged, and I was just not being picked. And I didn't think that in terms of looks, I was ugly. I didn't, in terms of achievements, I thought I was doing well. I came from a really good family. So then there must be something wrong that I am doing. Again, not from a place that, oh, there's something wrong with me, but there's just something that I don't know. And that put me in the journey of trying to figure out what it was. Now, granted, granted, I'm very not proud of this. I'm not proud of this, but I started Googling. And the first program that I came to, it was called Text Your Ex Back. It was by Michael Fury. This is my very first program that I've ever bought when it came to relationships, that it was, it opened a door for me. And again, I'm not proud of it because the man that I was with, I was obviously like, he was married to someone else. And I just thought that I can't live, like he said to me that he's divorcing her. He said to me, he showed me the papers that he was divorcing. So it's not going to work. So he's going to want to be with me. Anyways, I bought that program and I started to implement it, learn from it and all of it. And it just didn't feel right in my bones, in my body. I couldn't do it. I didn't want to text an ex back that was a manipulative liar. In a moment of pain, it felt like something that would bring me happiness and it would make me feel good again. But in when I actually took got myself real with myself, and I looked at it. I'm like, is it really what you want? So I kept on searching and I kept on searching. And you go to down this rabbit hole. Let me know if you relate to that. Then I came to have the Relationship You Want website by Rory Ray. And I was like, that's very different. Instead of texting a toxic ex back, a pathological liar back, there is a possibility that I could have the relationship I want. There is a possibility that I get to be with a man that he's actually going to give me the things that I desire, but freely. And that was a key thing for me. So I enrolled in her programs. I bought all of her courses, all of her programs. And remembered what happened to me was in June 15, 2013. And there was a time that I was grieving for a long time. So I didn't start my personal development journey until a few months later. I can't remember exactly when it was, but I started implementing what I was learning. I started to actually embody what I was learning. And very quickly, things started to shift. I started to heal. I'm not saying that there was never a time that I didn't have thoughts about my past and relationship stuff like that, but what was happening in me was this was about me. This was the answer to my question that what is it that I'm doing wrong? And it became so clear to me that my mom, loved her to pieces. She's an angel in my life, but she was not a good role model. What she taught me about men and relationships wasn't the holy grail because, to be honest with you, what I witnessed with my parents, it wasn't the type of relationship I wanted. My dad was wonderful and my mom was wonderful, but the relationship dynamic, it was always my mom being an overgiver and my dad being someone that took things for granted. My mom doing everything and anything in a relationship, and my dad being somebody that, sure, he provided for the family, but emotional connection, romance, I didn't see it ever, basically, for my dad to ever buy my mom flowers or anything like that. Now they come from a generation that, you know, there was no such thing as girlfriend and boyfriend. So very early on, my mom was 19 and my dad was 23 when they got married. So they had that going for them, but apply that logic into today's world, it's not going to work. The overgivers, the good girls that make everything and anything possible for a man, is not giving them the ring. It's not giving them the relationship that they want. So now I understood, okay, there are things that I am not doing. I'm not being, and that's why I'm not being chosen as somebody's wife, as somebody that wants one man to commit to her. And when I changed those things, everything changed. And I went from being on the bathroom floor on November 15, 2013, to going on my first date with my now husband. It took less than 5 months to go from attracting men who were just mediocre, to put it at best, including the pathological liar. That one is at the bottom. He was the worst one for sure. But the other ones were just, at best, they could take me out for a nice dinner. And then for the first few days and afterwards, everything was on me. I was paying everything for everything. I was doing everything. I was driving them around. I was trying to write them resumes so they would finally put down the game consoles and actually go get a job. That was the level of men that I was attracting. And they even didn't want to be with me. To attracting a man who, on our first date, he didn't tell me this, but from first date, he told me that he knew I was the one for him. He knew that he was going to marry me. He didn't tell me that right away because most intelligent men don't. The ones that don't love bomb don't. They know it, but they are like, I can feel it, but let's see. Let's see actually if this is all a facade, if she's gonna carry through with this, or who she is, or is she for real? But he had the instinct, he had the feeling. He told me later on that he knew from first date. So when I saw how quickly everything can change, when I saw how it is a little bit of a shift with inside that can get you from attracting pathological liars, men that don't want to commit, to men who truly to this day for those of you who've been in my world, some of you may have seen him on in programs or our pictures, or some of you even in person, that he is truly the King of Kings. He is somebody that throughout these years has only made our relationship grow stronger. Has been he's he's got my back all the way through, and he makes me feel so loved and adored throughout our entire life. And that is what I desire for every woman. But this was the reason I left the world of corporate and became a relationship coach. When I became a relationship coach, it wasn't mainstream, to be honest with you. Now, some of you may like be somebody that follows a lot of coaches, and let me know if that is true. Like, there are a lot of coaches out there right now. There are so many people that when they get bored, they become coaches, and there's nothing wrong with that, by the way. But when I actually left the corporate world in 20, that time was 2016 actually. I started to work with Rory Ray, the same coach that I bought the relationship programs. She changed my life. And so when I wanted to become a relationship coach, I went to her to certify me as a relationship coach, to teach me everything that I needed to know now, as not just as a student, but as a teacher. And I got certified by her. And in 2017, when I started my business, it was only within 4 months that I quit my job and it became my full-time passion, because I cannot tell you how rewarding it is. I cannot tell you how much I love doing this work, because I get it. I get it. I get it. I get the pain. I get the confusion. I get the frustration. I lived it for years. And by being able to offer the coaching and the teachings that changed my life, we've just celebrated the 200th engagement. And she was somebody that she struggled, and she was amazing. She is amazing. She is absolutely amazing. But when it came to her dating life, she's in her 40s. She just struggled as much as I used to, and we were able to turn it around. And so I wanted to bring this event to get you also ready, to get you ready to say yes to what type of relationship that you want, that for you to claim it, for you to own it. And that comes with the first thing that I'm going to talk about. Now, let me quickly take a look at the chat, what you're saying. There's so many messages. This gets me excited. Before we get started, I'm going to walk you through some energetics just to get you grounded for our where we're going to talk about. But just want to take a look. One of my first program was in 2007, Catch Him and Keep Him. Still haven't. Monera, I'm sending you so much love. But look at the title of that. Catch him. Catch him. Can you feel the energy of it when you think about that, when you feel into it? And I'm sure this was your first program, and there's probably a lot more that you have enrolled in, but catching a man, it hardly ever feels good for anybody, because if you catch someone, they were running away. They were trying to get away from you, and you were trying to get them. And as long as I did that, it literally felt like that. When you're trying to get a man, it feels so wrong. When you try to get a man to propose to you, when you try to get a man to commit to you, when you try to get a man to do anything for you, it feels like work. It feels like it's not coming to me willingly. It's not coming to me from a place of I want to do this because it feels so freaking good. When I think about wanting for a man to commit to me, I don't want it to be that I'm like dragging your ass into the altar with me, right? I don't want to feel that way. I want it to be like, I want you. I choose you. I want to be the one that you pick from me. That was me with my first husband. It so felt like that in all of my past relationships, that I was like, give me. Will you finally see my worth? Will you finally make a big deal out of my birthdays? That was the biggest thing for me. That was the biggest thing for me, that I love receiving gifts and I love giving gifts. That was a big thing for me. And I even when I was a student, I would empty my bank account. One time I remember I went into zero and I used my credit card to buy a guy that I was dating a computer, a laptop. And the next my birthday, the next birthday, he forgot it. And these were the things that I used to face. I'm like, oh my God. Oh my freaking God. It's not, they don't take the hint. It's not that if I do something for you, you're going to do it for me. We women do that. We women are very much about reciprocating. And if somebody does something for us, we want to make sure that we don't take it for granted and we want to give it back. But not men, not most men. And to be honest with you, if I did that with my husband, if I made the same mistakes like I did with him, if I emptied my bank account to get him a gift, I promise you that he would treat me the same way that all the other guys did. Because this is when you're trying to catch him. If I'm completely honest with myself, when I was in those relationships, when I would empty my bank account, that was treating me really like at best, like it was nothing. There was nothing special about it. So, what am I trying to do here? If I'm giving back to a guy that is treating me like a queen and I am bursting with joy and happiness, and so I want to give something back to him and buy him something that shouldn't come ever at the cost of me emptying my bank account, that's very different than a man that is doing bare minimum, if any, and I go all the way for him. What the message I'm sending him is like, you do nothing and I still give everything to you. And he'd be like, okay, well then that's really good. I like it here. I really like it here. Like I have to do nothing in order for someone to give me everything. It's human psychology. So yeah, one of my you said that's exhausting. That's exactly right, Shahzad. You're describing my experience to a T. I totally get it, babe, because I've been there. As I always said, I want a man who wants to be with me, and that is my measuring stick when measuring someone's interest. If a guy is really into you, he'll be after that. Bare minimum is a total turn off, totally. And I didn't get it. I really did not get it. For me, it was like, oh, you're giving me bare minimum. What can I do to make you give me more? That mentality, garbage. Whenever you think that you can make someone to give to you, there's something that I can do to make you to step up, I've shot myself in the foot. That's when everything turns around. So I want us today. I want to talk to you. What I want to talk to you is these are the things that not just I applied, but I think there are 8 of them that I wrote down. That my clients who get to their desires when it comes to the relationship the fastest, these are the energetics that they tap into. These are the things that they really embody. And every single one of them work for me as well. But now I took some notice. Like I'm like the ones that there are some of them, and and to be honest with you, I don't want you to feel like it's a rush, that there is like this timeline that by this time, if this person did it in 5 months, if this person did it in 1 year, or they did it in 3 months, it's not about that. But it is about, I took notice that these were the things that made the road and the path with more clarity. So they didn't have to make a lot of twists and turns into going sideways and coming back, that made the process longer than it needed to be. I don't need you to get married or get engaged in a month or 2 months, but I don't want you to waste a whole lot of time when it can be done a lot quicker and in a way that feels good and aligned to you. Yeah? So let's for a second just get ourselves grounded, because I want you to be really present and see within yourself from a grounded place, when we go through these 8 things, what feels truth for you? What feels like something that you could be working on, something that you need to expand your energy? And sometimes when we are up in our head, when we are distracted, when there is a lot going on, we could go into fear, or something could you know, just go over our head, because we are not being really present. So I just want you to take a moment here and if you can, if it is safe for you, to close your eyes and take a deep breath in Let the weight of your day just melt away and feel yourself being present in this moment. Take one more breath in. And exhale and arrive to this moment. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to be anywhere. This moment is for you. Now, I want you to imagine yourself standing at the edge of a beautiful path. The air around you feels fresh. It touches your skin ever so lightly. It's inviting. The path is lined with soft petals in shades of blush, cream, gold. And as you take your first step, you feel a sense of excitement and calm at the same time washing over you. This path leads to a life where you're cherished, you're adored, you are fully seen for who you are. A life where you are met with the kind of love that feels safe, expansive, and joyful. Notice what happens to your body, inside of your body, when you imagine that. I want you to take note of it. Just take a moment to picture that this life, this expansive and joyful life, the love that you've always wanted, is a match for who you are right now. You being enough right now. Right now in this moment, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to give anything. You don't have to prove anything. But you are enough for love to come to you without you having to chase it, to catch it, to perform for it. You are enough right now. You are worthy right now. And when that love comes to you, you're ready to say yes to it right now. In your mind's eye, see yourself of how radiant you are, how confident you are, how deeply at peace you are. Take a deep breath in, feel that. You're glowing inside and out. Notice this version of you, which is who you are, how you stand. Notice your shoulders back, your heart open. Notice the softness that you'll feel with the air touching your skin, but that strength that you feel on the inside. Let this feeling bring a smile into your face. And as you continue down the path, you feel him. The man, the love, that you've been dreaming of. You feel his energy right there, wanting you. Keep your heart open. Keep your shoulder back. Stay soft on the outside. Feel your strength on the inside. He wants you. He wants to take your hand and give you his full love and devotion. Feel him step forward, wanting to take your hand with respect, and hear him say, I've been wanting you forever. I've been waiting for you. I want you to choose me. Feel the warmth of his presence. Feel the strength of his commitment and the ease in his love. And notice how safe he feels. Anchor in this feeling of being safe while being chosen, cherished, and worthy of commitment. Now, to anchor this moment and this vision, place your hands on your chest, on your heart. Take a deep breath in and repeat silently to yourself, I am ready. I am ready. I'm ready to say yes to love. I am ready to say yes to love. Take a deep breath in. Let it all go. And when you're ready, open your eyes, bringing this feeling of certainty and love with you to the rest of this event. And I would love to know in the chat what came up for you. Welcome back. Welcome back. Soon we're going to transition into the content for you that I made to walk you through the shifts that my clients made, the ones that have made it to the altar with the love of their lives. And I want you to, if you need to take notes, you also have obviously access to the replay. I felt a lot of reassurance, and God is telling me, I'm ready. I love that. I absolutely love that. Yes, 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 yes. Sometimes these feelings when I used to do these visualizations and all of it, it did bring me a sense of I can do this. And then there was a little part of me that was like, but it's normal. If that comes up for you, it's normal. If visualizations is difficult, it is so normal. So don't make yourself wrong or bad in any way. That's totally okay. Sometimes also when we are falling asleep, this is something that I've learned. I did not know this, is that our nervous system sometimes wants to, when something feels outside of our comfort zone and if it doesn't feel familiar to us, especially, it wants to protect us. It wants to be like, I don't know how to survive there, so I'm just going to check out. So very normal if that happens. So don't worry about it at all. relieved and peaceful love feeling flowing through my body. I love that. I heard our song and I was so safe opening. Oh my goodness, that was beautiful. That is beautiful. I'm so excited. Okay. So let's get started. The first thing that I want to talk to you about is for the women that get to the ring, get to their yes faster. You may have heard this before, but it's the declaration and the decision that you get to have it. You actually get to have it, the type of the relationship that you do want, the type of commitment, the type of the caliber of the man that you do want. And this is where a lot of us, including me, would, before the transformation, we argue for our limitation. We say, yeah, but I am older now. Yeah, but the kind of guys that I've been on a date with, they're looking for younger women, or they're like, I am too young right now, or I have kids, or I am not wealthy enough, or I'm too rich. I intimidate the type of men that I want. There is all sorts of different arguments that first you decide this is the kind of relationship, this is the kind of man that I want, and then you go right into saying why it cannot happen. Why this is something that is going to be hard for you. And this is this is where it gets it we get into our own way. We get into this power dynamic. This is what I want, but this is not possible. So we do this back and forth and back and forth, and there is nothing that makes the journey longer for you than you being a rocking chair and going nowhere. I want it, but it can't happen. I want it, but I went on a date and he said this to me, and he was not the kind of guy that I wanted, so that it's not going to happen to me. I want it, but he doesn't want a commitment. He doesn't want to get married, but I really like him, so maybe I can change his mind. So we go into this back and forth with saying what we want, saying what we desire, but we argue for our limitation and thinking why it cannot happen, why something cannot happen to us, for us. So it's a really important that you make this decision right now in today in your energetics, that if there is a desire that you have, the type of guy, the type of commitment, the type of anything and everything that you want, it's because it is possible for you. It is because it's possible for you. In my journey now of being in this type of work, not just in my relationship, not in just my love life, but I have truly came to the understanding that if a desire is not meant for me, I will not have it to begin with. I use the word God. You could use higher power if you believe in it, universe, will you believe in it. But to me, I've truly learned that if you desire something, it's because God, universe gave that desire because it was possible for you to have it. It was meant for you to have it. If there's something that is not your desire, it's not meant for you, you wouldn't want it anyways. Some people tell me this, and I used this example before as well. It's like, and one woman came to me, it's like, so I'm in my 50s, and you're telling me that if I wanted to go and win the Olympics in swimming and I don't know how to swim, it's possible for me. And I said to her, very, 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 as a matter of fact, I'm like, is that a true desire for you? Do you actually really want that? She's like, no. I'm like, well, then of course it's not. I'm not telling you get to have whatever you want. I'm telling you, you get to have whatever is a true burning desire for you. That's the difference. I do not desire a G-Wagon, to be honest with you. I'm not into cars. I'm not somebody that gets excited about cars. Like, sure, I like to drive in a nice car, but do I feel in every bone of my body that that's what I want? No. And therefore, it's not a desire. Therefore, I don't feel that burn for it. But relationships, oh my God. When it came to relationship, it really was a burning desire with all of my heart. I wanted a romance like it was written in the stars. I wanted a man that loved me, chose me, wanted to be with me, and I wanted to love him back. I didn't want a guy that fantasized about me and then I wanted nothing to do with him. I didn't want a guy that was, and I hear this all the time, all the guys that I want, they don't want me, but all the guys that want me, I don't want them. that doesn't have to be the case for you either. But it is truly own the fact that if this is a true desire for you, if you want it with all of your heart, it is because it is meant for you. And when you make this decision, when you know this in your heart of hearts, then we can move accordingly. That we can, obviously, fears can show up. Obviously, through all of my own path and the women that I have helped with, it's not that you don't get disappointed. And we'll talk about that as well. But it is the belief that it is meant for you. Now, if it is meant for you, then I need to become that woman. Even if it was winning an Olympic medal for you, that for you, it is, if it is a true desire for you, it's not live your life the way you used to and don't get off the couch and it's going to happen for you. No, you have to train for it. Now you have to eat like it. Now you have to be the person that actually lives her life towards her commitment. Excuse me. But this is the part that we need to understand, that you desire it. Okay, baby, let's go. It's time to now own it. It's now time for us to make that happen, which brings us to point number 2. This was a hard one for me, but it kind of, if you heard my story, it began before number 1 for me. And that was taking radical responsibility. Radical responsibility of, I co-created this. I don't know why I'm coughing so much, but 1 sec. Coughing fit, not fun. But okay, radical responsibility. I am the creator of my own life. Anything and everything that I want is possible for me. And if I haven't had it yet, then it means I created it. I co-created it. This is not about you putting the blame on yourself. This is not about shaming yourself, feeling guilty about what you have co-created. But this is coming from a place of empowerment. In my past, I co-created and stayed in relationships that went nowhere. I said okay to a guy that was telling me that he doesn't know if he ever wants to get married. Whose fault is that? Let's not even call it a fault. But if I stay in that situation, why am I shocked that it went nowhere? I didn't know overgiving to a man will turn him off. When you make things so easy for a guy, that it will take all the drive in him to want to claim you, to want to be with you. I didn't know that. So it's not to blame, but I didn't know what I didn't know. And if I didn't know this and I did it, then that's okay. Then I can stop now. I can stop now. And sometimes we can also look at things, and this is another point of empowerment that I talk a lot about, is that take relationship advice from people who model that relationship that you want. I took the relationship advice from, love her to death. Again, this is not about blaming our parents, my mom, but her relationship was nothing like what I wanted for myself. It was a beautiful roommate relationship with zero communication teaching whatsoever. They could go on for months stonewalling each other. And here I was taking relationship advice from my parents. So I didn't know what I didn't know. I didn't learn from the people that modeled things for me that I knew was possible for me. So again, I can take responsibility, not blame, but responsibility for, hey, I had no idea. I had no idea that when you actually go into people pleasing, when you go into whatever you say, even though I hate it, whatever you say. I really don't want to go, out to a sports bar right now, but you want it, and I'm afraid that if I don't go with you, you don't think I'm cool enough. So I will keep going, but I hate it. I'd rather be with you and miserable right now as opposed to be by myself and fear that you're gonna not like me anymore. So having all of that in mind, the women that are going to succeed the fastest in this work are the ones that are like, hey, what was my part in all of this? Where did I settle down or settle my standards? Where did I not have boundaries? Where did I know better but didn't do it because I was afraid of what? All of these things will now bring us to a point of power that if I am honest with myself, if I had a hand in co-creating this, if I stayed in relationships way too long because of the potential, because I don't want to start over again, because I don't want to be alone right now, because it's the holidays and everybody in my family has someone and I don't want to show up alone, all the stuff that I put things because I don't want, it's Valentine's Day and I don't want to be alone. I did all of it and I speak about it because I did every single one of them. So I give myself permission to be real with you with zero shame or blame because I get it. Because I get it. But this is where we can go on much longer and stay in situations that don't go anywhere. Nowadays, this is, I think, a Gen Z thing, but we didn't have the word for situationships. But nowadays, I see women in their 40s, in their 50s, that they stay in situationships. They go along with situationships are basically you're not even boyfriend, girlfriend, you're not anything. There is no status, and you're so confused all along. Does he like me? Does he not like me? Does he like me? But I'll sleep with him, even though he doesn't like me. Maybe he will like me. And oh my God, he's on another date. Oh, okay, well, I guess we are not in a relationship. Like it's so very confusing. So these are the things that we're now dealing with. And in all honesty, who co-created that with men? Could situationships exist if we said, hell no, I'm not doing that? Could could they actually go on like that without our participation? Oh, they couldn't have. This is where we want to see that, okay, we can take radical responsibility. That nobody can put me in a situationship if I don't want to. Nobody can put me in a state of confusion if I'm not available for it, and I am no longer available for it. I'm no longer willing to go along with this nonsense anymore because I know what I want. I've decided this is what I want. I've decided this is what I'm worthy of, and I desire it. Therefore, I need to take radical responsibility and stop that right now. I need to learn what it is that I'm doing wrong, what it is that I don't know that I don't know. There are things that I do know, but I choose fear. I act out of fear instead of acting out of expansion and going for what I want. And we put a stop to that right now. Let me quickly see what your lady's saying. Loving your participation. I see it like men can only care about your emotions as much as you do. Painful to grieve. That is so true. When I took radical responsibility, yes, I didn't know what I didn't know. But when I learned, I would tell myself, when I know better, I do better. Yes, Oprah. Yes, ma'am. That is truth. When I know better, I do better. We need to be authentic. You're so right. That's a tough pill to swallow, but that is recognition of the part you played in your experience is key. I came to this realization literally just this weekend after another failed experience with a man I really liked and desired. My heart goes out with to you, but Abel, you've got this. This is why we are having these radical conversations because it is really easy to talk about all the low effort men out there, and there are a lot of low effort men out there. There are a lot of jerks out there. There are a lot of inauthentic, and then there are a lot of kings out there. There are a lot of good men out there. We have to say no to the ones that we waste our time with in order to be a match for the ones that are kings, and that will be one of the points. I still show up alone everywhere after 6 years working on myself, and I can feel genuine desire now, which is not burden. Oh, I love that. That is awesome. That is so awesome. Okay. Now that brings us to point number three, which is kind of like plays off of the point number two, is that they are willing to change their ways. And that may sound like a no-brainer to you, but you will be surprised that how many of us know better, but we still don't do better. How many of us know that when it comes to not having a hard conversation that you need to, you know you're supposed to talk about it, but you choose convenience and you put it off and you hope that the problem suddenly will go away. You see a pattern in him and you think that you could just manifest it away. You're just going to visualize that he's not going to do it anymore and voila. No, that's not how it works. One of the things that I was the hardest thing for me when I learned it, it was fantastic. It was fantastic. But the part of the women who want to get married the fastest, this is not something that you need to be doing, but if your desire is that I actually want to be married and I don't want to be a girlfriend anymore, um, is to say no to being a girlfriend. And this was something that I learned from Rory Ray, that being willing to deliver the no girlfriend speech, to telling to a man that until I have a ring on my finger, I don't believe in girlfriend boyfriend. I'm not at the stage in my life that I will say yes to being someone's girlfriend anymore. And that scared me shitless. I was so worried that I'm going to say it and the guy is going to run away and that is going to ruin everything for me. Or being somebody that my ladies in my inner dawn trauma course know, that people pleaser, being somebody that um just wants to make everything better all of a sudden, like make it all go away, was something that I dealt with. So anytime bringing up something that did not feel good was felt so difficult for me. I learned you have to have boundaries. I learned that you are supposed to, if a guy steps over your boundary, you have to stay firm. But when it came to actually implementing it, it was so hard. It was so difficult. But that was the willingness. I'm willing to do the hard things. I'm willing to risk it. I'm willing to risk for this man to not like me anymore. And this is another point that is going to come by because I choose my desire, because I choose what I want for myself, because I choose to let go of somebody that is not the right match for me because I'm holding the vision for who is going to be. And brainwashing myself with the right person for me will love me for me. The right person for me will love me for my boundaries. The right person for me is going to pick and actually fall in love with all of me, not the parts. And even if something doesn't feel natural to them, they will rise up. And that was very difficult. Another thing, oh my God, you will laugh at it. But being an overgiver, do you know how hard it is to go on a date and sit on your hands and not offer to pay? When in all of my past relationships, like I was like, oh, the check came, so let me reach for my purse because I don't want to look like I'm just sitting here like a princess. I hope that a lot of you are all a lot more advanced than me. But when I started this work, that was hard. That was difficult because what if he thinks I'm a gold digger? What if he thinks I need his money? What if he thinks this and that about me? So I knew that, hey, girl, being somebody that didn't feel like a man who takes you on a date, he can pay. He gets to pay. This is part of it. But feeling like, oh, I'm so scared of being judged that I'd rather do something that will sabotage the dating and the relationship, but for you to not judge me, well, you can pick one or the other. If he judges you, if he is somebody that is not going to like you for it, and that's the way that you want to be treated, again, if you don't want to be treated, that's fine. But if you want to be treated, you want to be with someone with a guy that would happily pay on a date for you. That it's just the etiquette for him that when I take a lady out, this is what we do here. And if he doesn't like you, then and I've had clients, I'm like, if they say something, be willing to pay for your half, but then please walk away if that does not align with what you want in your life. If you want a provider, if you want a man that wants to, not because you need his money, but because that's what romance feels like to him, then you have to be willing to walk away. So all of these things were about the willingness that, okay, now that I know, I actually am willing to change my ways. Now that I know that circular dating, this is dating multiple men at the same time until you get the commitment that you want, even though it's not easy, but you're willing to actually do it. You're willing to do it. I remember one of my clients, this was years ago, that and it was getting into an argument, getting into an almost an argument with her that not that I was arguing, but she was arguing with me that why she can't be circular dating and why it's wrong. And I'm like, I love you and I hear you. And if you keep doing everything the way that you used to do, why are you shocked that you may get different results? If you are going to do the same things over and over and over, isn't that the definition of insanity? It is. So keeping that in mind, that this type of work is going to require you to change your ways, but in an empowering way, not in a way that makes you be someone who you're not. Because a lot of women argue, well, I am just a generous person. Amazing. Go help charities. You don't have to give it to the guy. You don't have to empty your bank account. If you are a generous person, that is beautiful. That is wonderful. But don't pull out your wallet on a first date and then come to me and say that he treats me like a roommate. He treats me like another friend, because that's where it gets us. So the willingness, our willingness to be able to shift and change that, our instincts and the way that we used to do is going to be key here. And let me know how you feel. What are the things, ladies, that you know that you should change, but you haven't? I'd rather be alone than to be in a non-matrimonial relationship, but I don't want to be alone. Well, good. So let's change all of those wordings. I'd rather this than not this, and then I don't want to, because all of them are sending the energetics of, I really don't like it here, to I am so ready for a relationship that is going towards a marriage, a beautiful partnership that we get to co-create together. Very different. Just see the difference between then and rather be alone. But I don't want to be alone. Do you see the shift in the energy between the two? As he should. That was me. I still feel uncomfortable not offering to pay. That's okay. Being uncomfortable is okay. Acting out of discomfort is not okay. Trying to make the discomfort to go away and doing the things that we always used to do, that's what makes it not okay. If they want to split the bill, I say, I guess it's just a friendship then. It's true. I don't even pretend to pay anymore, but I haven't paid when I felt like it was a burden. I just never called again. I have even paid them back after I had to hear about it, how they had to pay. Yeah, I would do the same thing. Like, I mean, if they didn't want to, I mean, in terms of being an abundant person, I'm like, yeah, like good riddance. But yeah, no more just going for the wallet. Unfortunately, I have to go meeting and I have to stop. That's okay. I'm sure, Jackie, you will get the replay. We'll miss you. I think we don't feel worthy to be cared for, to be invited. That is very, very true, Aquarius. That's the other thing, that when we don't feel worthy of something, we will settle for it. That's why the first point is to know that you deserve it, to declare that that's what you want and you're going to go for it. Because if you don't feel worthy of it, then it always feels like something that you want to say no to protect yourself or to protect them because I'm not worthy of it. I have been working on asking for my man's help lately with my bills because my work life is unstable, and he stepped up because he is a good man. I was shocked that he just needed me to ask. So uncomfortable for me. I know that for women like us, it feels like receiving means something bad about us, means that we are needy, but not really. That's not the way it goes. Shall we wait for them to pay? And if it expects on the next day for me to pay, I notice that some men feel worried when they are paying all the time because it feels that I'm becoming dependent. So the way that I like to do this, Vanya, and this is something that I actually talked to my husband about it. Literally, we had this conversation. And it was, first of all, the energy behind when I went on a date with him. It wasn't that I expected him to pay. It wasn't like I had this energy of entitlement that I was giving off. But it was more coming from a place of that the right man for me would like to pay, and we'll see. So we'll see that if he likes to pay or not. If it comes to, if the bill is sitting there, and this is something that I teach in Attract the One Journey, is that, and it's just sitting there, you get to say, I feel awkward right now. I don't want to assume that how you want to handle the bill. So I would love to ask you, how do you like to handle the bill? And a lot of times it's like, oh yeah, yeah, I got it. And the other times it's like, yeah, I feel like we could split it, or maybe this time you could get it. And then you get to say, I hear you. And I have to be honest with you that when it comes to my romantic relationships, I am somebody who really enjoys being courted, being romanced. And that's the way I like to date. I totally understand if that is not what you want, but I would love to hear your thoughts without assumption. And then you get to hear what he has to say. If he doesn't want to, you don't want to be with someone who doesn't want to. But that does not mean that now you get to drop your standards and say, okay, then, well, I guess we will go on a 50-50 journey together. That's not it. Now, the thing that my husband and I talked about, and he actually told me this, is that every time that obviously every time he paid, I was so grateful. I showed my excitement. Oh my God, thank you so much. I feel so courted. This feels really, really good. So he would hear me say that. So it's not an entitlement energy of, yeah, well, of course you should pay. You took me on a date. It doesn't come from that. I don't treat even God like that. Like, it's my relationship always from receiving comes from a lot of gratitude. But I would, whenever we went on a date, whether it was an ice cream or it was coffee or something, in the context of giving back, I would say to him that you've treated me so well. Oh my God. I just wanted to pay for coffee to thank you. Is that okay? This was something that I'm not buying him a dinner. I'm not paying for $100 bill. I'm paying for something at $10 or $20 in the context of giving back with gratitude, not 50-50 energetically. Not, oh, you paid for this, now I'm going to pay for this. This is something that I want all of you to anchor, that there is nothing more enjoyable for a man to know that they're doing something right. And you can only do that by saying thank you and recognizing it. So if, no, 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 I got this is not the same. I would like to pay for this because I've been feeling so cherished by you. So it's putting in the context of I'm giving back to you because of your amazing efforts, as opposed to, no, 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 I got this. It changes everything for them. So he told me that the fact that you would give back or you would pay for small stuff, it made me feel like you're not an entitled princess, his words. And that made him like me more. So I would allow for him to give to me, but the energy of the return came from a place of gratitude, and it wasn't an equal amount. It was, he paid for $100 thing, so I'm going to pay for another $100 thing. I hope that makes sense. I'm probably going out on a dating weekend and I still feel guilty about giving the no girlfriend speech. I have practiced it though on a different person and walked away after he usually um in response, men will get scared about this. Yeah. So I hear you, Julia, on this. And this is something that you, the way that you deliver it, not that I'm sure you did it perfectly, but I want you to within yourself come from a place that, because you're scared of it. So when we're scared of something, when we are going to a conversation with an energy of the fear to begin with, is that you're doing something wrong. And you will attract people who will reflect that back to you. So it's not about your speech that you may have said it, but it's coming from a place of, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to be anyone's girlfriend. That's the energetics behind it. And I hope you're okay with it. And if you're not okay with it, I guess I'm going to walk away from you. But like there is an apology to it. There is this, is this okay? Or I hope you're okay with it, as opposed to, I feel so flattered. I feel so flattered that you want us to be in a girlfriend and boyfriend. And to be honest with you, I'm not at the stage in my life that that is a title that I want to go for. I want to walk to the sunset with my forever man. And oh my God, feeling that, thinking about that gets me so excited. Oh, I cannot even tell you. And that's why I cannot settle for a boyfriend girlfriend status. And this is not to put any pressure on you. You take all the time that you need to get to know me. But until then, we're just going to see each other and date. And hopefully, you can make the decision that whether or not I'm the right person for you that you want to spend the rest of your life with. Do you feel an energy in this? That you're not making it about him, that he's not good enough, that it's he's not doing enough, but it's, this is what I want. And you get excited about your vision. You get excited about what you want and you desire it. You're not judging him. You're not saying, no, absolutely not. I'm not becoming anybody's girlfriend. Thank you very much. No, it's coming from a place. Thank you. That's what you want to give me. Thank you. And that not in the stage of my life that I want that. So guys actually asked to be a boyfriend. That seems odd to me. I've never had God clearly ask me. Sometimes they just assume, right? Sometimes there's an assumption. And that's what actually my husband did. He assumed we were girlfriend, boyfriend until I told him otherwise. And then his response, by the way, was that if I have to compete, I compete. Bring them on. But I want to win. And this is what he did, ladies. This is when you know you're with the right person. I was traveling the world. I was working so much that I only had 2 dates available every week. I could go on dates to it, and then he would book me every single one of them. He did not let me circular date because he would just be, so when is the next time that you're free? Okay, we're going out. When is that? Before he would drop me off home, he would make sure that I had no other time to see any other guy. And this is the absolute truth with with any guy that is right for you. He's going to compete. He's going to make sure that it's not going to happen. He's not going to make you wrong for it. He's going to, and this is, by the way, this is point number 4. So let's just talk about it in this context, is that you are willing to make, the women that I work with, they are willing to make men uncomfortable. They are willing to make men uncomfortable. So it was so hard for me, Julia. So I want to say that I so freaking get it. But I was shocked that I kept the dating apps open. I kept my options open, but he just closed them. He kept closing them. He kept making sure that I couldn't go on any date because he really stepped up. This is why. And I am 100% sure that's the reason that he stepped up like no other man ever did with me. Because he knew that he didn't have me by just giving me uh like a little title that, oh, I guess I will see you when I see you. I'll call you. He knew the reason that he knew that that actually is going to be he's gonna lose me was because it was the truth. And that was the truth. That was the absolute truth for me. Oh, Jackie, you're back. That I didn't play the game that I said I am not available to be girlfriend, because some of my clients do that. They say it and then they stop seeing all the other men and they delete. I just don't have time. I just don't have time to date more guys. I didn't have time either, but I was willing. I was willing. I kept my dating app open. I kept everything open because I was willing to go on another date if he didn't book me, and he kept on doing it. So it will make them step up with the right person, and the wrong person will step out. I said that to a guy. I went on a date before I went on my first date with my husband, and I never heard from the guy again. So, and this was actually somebody that I used to go into university with. So I even knew him. And he completely ghosted me afterwards. And I'm like, oh my God, this doesn't work. I thought that because that's the feeling that we also, by the way, could make ourselves a little delusional. It's gonna work on every guy. No, it's gonna work on the right guy. And that's what we want. It's not supposed to work on the guy that is not meant for us. If it worked on every single guy, then why would we even bother to have standards or have a desire of our own? It's supposed to get rid of part of this work that we're doing, which I should have mentioned, is you get to your destination faster when you get rid of the time wasters. When you are willing to let go of the guys that are not right for you, when you're willing to make the ones uncomfortable and see, is he going to step up or is he going to step out? So the one that was wrong for me immediately stepped out. And this is where we want to be actually happy about it. Now, it's okay for you to feel disappointed. It's okay to feel like, oh, I really liked him. He had a lot of good qualities. But when it came to the actual commitment that you wanted, he wasn't up for it. He wanted easy. He wanted somebody that she would close all of her options after 3 days. Dude, I don't even know you. Why would I jump into a situation, in a relationship where we haven't gone through anything that was hard together? While we haven't had any sort of difficult conversations, you haven't shown me that when you're stressed, how you're going to treat me. You haven't shown me that after a few months, when all the oxytocin and all the happy hormones kind of die off, if you're gonna stay consistent, if you're gonna treat me with respect, if you're gonna be somebody that is always going to find the time to prioritize our relationship. Why would I, at this stage of my life that I am, Julia, at the end, absolutely. I will open the mic for coaching as much as we can. So for sure. But what I want to say is that this is the part that is difficult, but we have to give ourselves permission to be unapologetic about my desire. I'm not looking for a boyfriend. A lot of my clients that come to me, even in their 20s, I have clients that she's 21. My youngest is 21-year-old, and she doesn't want to be a girlfriend. So forget about my clients that are in their 30s and 40s and 50s and 60s. My oldest was 65 that I coached, that they don't want to be a girlfriend. They don't want to be in a relationship that the commitment that they're going to get is that they easily can walk away from each other. They want skin in the game. They want to be like, I want to be with you for the rest of my life. So this is where you prioritize your desire, and you believe that right person for you is absolutely going to say yes and say, this, I don't like this. And I will interview my husband, I promise you. And you will hear he didn't like it, but he did it anyways. And this is an important thing that it's not part of my content for today, but I'll talk about it anyways. You have to give a man what he needs, not what he wants. He didn't like the fact that I was circular dating. He didn't like that I was open, that he didn't get me, but he needed it in order to step up. There's a lot of things that they don't necessarily like. They want it easy. They want sex easy. They want it. But why do you think it is that men are notorious to be able to have one night stand with women and don't even remember their names the next day? They want it, they got it, but did they get what they needed in order to fall in love with the person? No. They want it easy. They want a woman, of course. I want you to pay for things, but will I then fall in love with you and want to spend the rest of my life with you? No. All those little boyfriends that I have, why did they stay with me for years? One of them for 3 years, one of them for 4 years, one of them for 5 years. Why? Why did they stay with a woman that they weren't going to marry? Because it was easy. They get all their needs catered to, but they are not falling in love. They are not feeling the passion. It's convenient, exactly. And have you ever heard of a love, passionate love that was so convenient? Like, what a boring ass story to be in a convenient relationship. That doesn't scream passion and excitement and devotion and men going out of his way to make things special for you. No convenient girl, and I should know this because I was a poster child for it, is ever going to get ravished and romanced and get everything that she desires. So it's the willingness to do things that makes men uncomfortable, that makes them be like, ah, she's really pushing me. But also notice that in the sports, where a lot of men, women too, thrive, don't they love getting pushed to their limits? That's when they win the championships, when they go harder and harder, when things get more difficult for them, that's when they work harder. And men do have this innate thing within themselves that the harder they work for a woman, the harder they fall in love with her. And this isn't coming from game playing. This is you being your authentic self. This isn't coming from you just delivering a bunch of things and saying that I'm not going to be a girlfriend while you close the app on all the other guys and just don't even keep your options open whatsoever. It's the truly that you are committed to your desire. You're truly committed to what you want, that it is authentically hard for him to get you. That's when they thrive. Why guys are staying friends or in a non-sexual situation when they are doing so much? It's confusing because you feel you're being courted and he knows you're saying staying to get married because it's convenient. It is convenient. Convenience. Now, I'm not saying that we go out of our ways to make things hard for a guy. I'm not your coach for play games at all. But I'm your coach for stay true to your desire. Stay true to what you want. Have the inconvenient conversations. That's what I mean, that it then makes things real for him. Because circular dating is truly about, and this is the Roy Ray tool, dating multiple guys at the same time until you get the commitment that you want, is about you choosing yourself first and not catering to his need, to his, well, to his want, because that's not what he needs. Yeah. Now that brings us to point number one, which is the women that succeed in this path is that they hold the energy. What does that mean? It means that when things get hard, when the guy tells you, yeah, no, I'm not up for this, you really liked him, and you told him that you don't want to be girlfriend, and he disappeared, that you feel your disappointment, but you don't let go of the energy, of the vision of the things that you desire. When a man tries to to push your boundaries, and you are a woman have decided that I'm not going to get intimate. I'm not going to go to a man's house before whatever your desire is, before engagement, before marriage, before being in a committed relationship, that if he stops calling you, if he starts to be wishy-washy, that you still hold the energy and you stay true to yourself, to what you decided that you're going to do. That what, no matter how many times you go to on a date and the guys that you keep seeing, they're either feminine energy, they are low effort, and you keep on believing that it's possible for you. You keep on lighting yourself up with the vision, with your desire, and you don't go back. You don't play the yo-yo game. This is one of my absolute favorite stories that you may have heard me say this before, but it to this day still brings me chills. That there was a woman that she was being in a part of the group that I was a part of. So I wasn't her coach, but I was in a coaching container with her. And it was about holding the energy. Um, and she went on a date. She went on a blind date, and the guy never showed up. He never showed up, and she was all dressed up, glam. She went to this restaurant, and she decided that I'm still gonna have a really great night for myself. I'm going to I'm not going to be controlled just because I am not getting what I want, which I thought I was going to go on a great date and he didn't show up. She could have completely let go and felt sorry for herself and felt bad about herself and went back home and put on her pajamas and just drank a, glass of wine. But she said, no, I'm gonna go to the bar part of the restaurant. I'm gonna get a drink, have my food there, talk to the people there. And she sat with someone who is now her husband's of many years. She wrote her own story because she didn't react, because she didn't let go, make it mean anything about herself and her luck and how bad the dating scene is and how jerk some guys are and feel sorry and bad for herself. She went on, sat at the bar, stayed open, smiled, had a conversation, and obviously the rest is history. This is what I mean by holding the energy. This is what I mean to not go into this yo-yo. It's my favorite story, and it's like, again, chills. And it's to me, this is what power is. This is what a woman who writes her own story, who will not just be a reaction to the world. What happens if you say, if you do this, I will do this. And if I'm getting all the, likes, and if I'm getting a lot of swipes rights and all these validations, I will feel good about myself. And the minute someone ghosts me or someone doesn't like me back, or he says he's gonna call and he doesn't, I lose all my power, I lose all my energy, I'll lose all my energy. That's what we don't want to have to play with in our lives, because this is where you get to stay consistent with what you're sending out, with what you're available for. She's not here today, is she? One of my clients, Sonia, she is the prime example. When we were working, well, she's still working with me, she's still working privately with me, but when she was single, and we were working together, the bounce back that this woman had, and she's obviously married now and like she's just in the happiest relationship, and she had zero long-term relationships before we started working together in her 40s. But the way that this woman would bounce back immediately, she would go get disappointed. The guy doesn't have the things that she's looking for. The guy does not want to do this, want to do that. But she would immediately, she would come back home, feel her feelings, feel her disappointment, message me on Voxer, and the next stage she's ready to go again, to go again, to go again, to go again. And That is the essence of a woman that is not going to she's taking her love story, writing it in her own hands, and not letting anything. Resiliency, that's it. She had resilience is so important. It's not about being hard. She cried, God knows. She had her feelings hurt, but nothing took her out of the game. Nothing made her settle. Nothing made her feel like there was something wrong with her, but she kept going. And there she is now. You've probably seen her. I blast her all over my social media with her beautiful story. And that's also the reason that she herself has become a dating and relationship coach, because she is the queen of it. She's the queen of it and she's the embodiment of it. So I'm really proud of her. Um, that's okay, Neela. I hope you catch the replay. I'm so glad that you enjoyed it. So being willing to hold the energy, being willing to not be a reaction to your dating life, not playing this ping pong with whatever happens in your life that you are a reaction to it, but you are the cause to the effect. You are the cause to the effect that happens in your life instead of the cause and effect. Something causes you some for you, and then you just react to it. You create your reality. You hold the energy and you stay with it until you get what you want, because that is 100% going to make your journey so much go faster than with you being taking a break. And this is what I see that breaks my heart with women, that they keep having to take breaks, and they keep on taking a break for a year. Sometimes they went on a date with a guy for 3 months in a 3-month relationship, and then now they need a year to recover from it. Why is that? Why do you think that is? Obviously, it's not because the guy was the greatest thing that ever happened to her, and then now she's so brokenhearted, because you can't be that guy. You hardly knew him for you to have that much, but it's because of the self-fulfilling prophecy of thinking about him and how you think that you can never have a love that is going to make you happy, and you feel heartbroken and you talk about it, and you make yourself bad or wrong, and then you make men bad or wrong, so you keep doing this unnecessary rehashing that makes your journey so much longer than it needs to be. Yeah, the dips cannot be that long. The only reason the dips are long is because of overthinking. It's because making that guy so important. You make a man the source of your happiness, thinking that no man will ever be as good as him. That will make your dips much longer. 1 second. So, my loves, holding the energy. And there is something really good I have for you about the holding the energy. Well, about everything, but this is the reason that I'm doing what I'm doing after this, during this event with you. Now, this is one that was life changing for me, number 6, and I think it will for you as well. They prioritize being loved, not being liked by everyone. Prioritizing finding the person that is right for you, instead of being a girl that is liked by everyone. Whew. Being the girl that says yes to everyone and everything, never wants to rock the boat, never wants to say the wrong thing, doesn't want to make any guy uncomfortable, doesn't want to make him feel like he's done something wrong. making sure that everybody likes you, that your dating profile, for example, gets all the right swipes by not owning your truth, is going to always block you from finding the one that is going to love you. One of the things that I make my clients uncomfortable with, which I have no problem anymore, is to tell them, do you want to get married? Yes, put that in your dating profile. Declare that in your dating profile that I am so excited. I feel so expanded to think about finding the love of my life and getting married. But I'm gonna scare all of them away. The wrong ones. Yeah, they're not gonna swipe right on a woman who wants to get married. But if you want to be liked by everyone and post pictures that are going to be pleasing to every single person that you see, like if your focus is on how many matches you're going to get or how many guys you get to go on a date with and how everybody thinks that you're awesome, then you are not being authentic to yourself, because not everybody is your soulmate. You're supposed to be real. You're supposed to be who you are, fully who you are, own who you are, and find the one that is the right person for you. Being in the journey of finding your soulmate, it means turning off the ones that are not your soulmate. And that can only happen if you're fully who you are. You say what you want. You show up the way that you want. And you're willing for people not to like you. And it's okay to feel bad when they don't like you. But it's not okay to make yourself someone else for them to like you. In the past, I was always looking, making sure to see what does he say that he likes so that I can be that woman and do it. If he doesn't like makeup, I'm going to stop wearing makeup. If he doesn't like being dressed in a certain way, I'm going to stop dressing that way. If he thinks that girls who, oh, this one was big. This one was big. I will never forget it. I love gifts. I love receiving gifts so much. From a lollipop to a diamond ring, does not matter. It makes me so happy when I receive gifts. And I remember one of the guys that I was with, from the very beginning, he said that I really don't like women that are materialistic. Oh, me too. I am not materialistic at all. I don't like gifts. I find that really, really shallow. Such a liar. I was such a liar. I love receiving gifts. Why would I do that to myself? Because I want you to like me. Because I want you to not judge me. Because I want you to think I'm the best thing that you've ever found. And oh my God, I cannot even imagine ending up with a guy for the rest of my life that never wanted to buy me gifts. And call me shallow, but that is a love language of mine. That is something that I love. Or at least I try to give the best gifts. So I want that for myself too. But if I am shying away, if I'm hiding my truth, I'm going to be liked by a bunch of people that I think to myself, if they knew who I really was, they wouldn't choose me. They wouldn't want me. And that is a horrible dynamic to be in. This is why one of my first courses that I ever created was called Stop Feeling Invisible. Because that's how I truly felt. I felt invisible in all of my dating and relationships, not just look-wise or men didn't see me, but men never knew what I really wanted, who I really was, because I would shapeshift to anything and everything that they wanted me to be. Because I thought that was going to get me love, but at best it got me liked, but it never got me being chosen, adored, cherished until I owned who I really was, until I prioritized being loved over being liked. Yes, be impeccable with your word, with intention, with integrity, but you have to know yourself to embody it for sure. You have to own. You have to own who you are, love who you are, be who you are, and of course, evolve. Being who you are and being enough, like we did in the meditation of who you are, it does not mean that there is no room for growth. God, I would die if I felt like I have no room to growth. The thing that I do in my life all the time is that every morning I wake up after doing it, my meditations and all of that. Okay, what book am I going to listen to on my walk when I'm walking my dog? Like, what else can I implement? I'm in two different masterminds right now. I constantly with my best friend, we're talking back and forth about what is she learning? What am I learning? Yeah. And because I want to become the greatest version of myself, not because who I am right now is not lovable, not because who I am right now is not enough. But if you're not growing, Tony Robbins said, we are dying. So understanding that you are enough, you are incredible, be who you are, and be willing to become a person, to become more and more and more. I love how many shapeshifters I have here. I totally get you all so much, but we got to change that, ladies, like yesterday. We got to change that because God created a masterpiece in you. God created one of you. Universe has created one of you. What business do we have to disown it and try to sound like someone else, to be liked by someone else by disowning the part of us that makes us who we are? I talk about this to my clients when they're running their own businesses and they show up online and all of that. I'm like, stop trying to sound like everyone else and stop watching someone else, see what they say to repeat it, because then why would God make copies of the same person? Then we are redundant. If I sound like everyone else, if I copy what everyone else says, then I'm redundant. There's no need for me anymore. And the same thing goes to love and relationship. I don't think if I was like anyone else, Bezat, my husband, would choose me to be his wife. Why would we? And this is what we get us. We all use the same filters. We all try to see what's trendy to wear those clothes. And if you love it, that's different than you thinking that you have to look that way, you have to sound like that way, you have to be that way in order to be worthy of love. It's it's a disservice to yourself, to the guy that is meant to fall in love with you, to fall in madly in love with you. So I want us to divorce shape shifting. We have to do it because it's robbing you from having the relationship that you want. Stop saying yes to what is a no for you. Stop saying, I'm like that too when you're not. You don't have to make the other person wrong. The point of power for me would be like, interesting. You have an interesting point of view. And I honestly love gifts. So I wonder how this is going to turn out. If I didn't want to right away say, nah, I guess it's not going to work, because sometimes guys also test you. Sometimes men, consciously or subconsciously, they want to see how much of a people pleaser are you. And I have talked to multiple men, including my own husband, that one of the red flags for men is a woman who is a people pleaser. Why? Because they cannot trust that this woman who, if she's going to be the mother of my kids or whatever, that someday someone is going to put pressure on something that is not as a boundary for her, and then she's just going to say yes, and she is going to be unreliable. She's going to be untrustworthy because she's going to put someone else's what they want over what is true for her, what is of value to her, and I can't trust that person. So being somebody who can hold her no or hold what is true for them is a huge point of turn on for the right person, for a healthy masculine energy man. That's why they test your boundaries. That's why they try to push it, because they actually want to see that in the long run, are you going to be a woman that they can fully trust? This people pleasing perspective needs to be talked about, not just in relationships, but also friendships and all different types of relationships. Absolutely. And I know it because was, it was such a huge trigger for me. My trigger response was always make all the problems go away. And this happens with a lot of, especially people that have been raised in families that there was a lot of conflict. So they took on the responsibility of, I need to make the problem go away because it's so effing uncomfortable. And I don't want to see my mom hurt. I don't want to see my dad upset. And so I start like making people laugh and doing all the chores and helping out with everything so that we can come from a peace and place of harmony again. And although I'm still big fan of harmony, but not at the cost that it makes me resentful, because guess what? There is no one more resentful than a people pleaser. God knows how much we resent those that we keep on doing everything for and then feeling like it's not reciprocated. I'm not appreciated. You don't even know who I am. You don't even care about what I want. That was always the closing line of all of my relationships that if I walked away from, or when we were in the process of breaking up. You never even gave me shit about me. I did everything for you. I gave up everything for you. What else I could have done? You piece of, you know what? You constantly did this. All that resentment, finally, who can resonate with that? Tell me I'm not the only one who, at the end of a relationship, or even not sometimes in the end, I gave it to him finally. Everything that I was holding on to, that I felt so miserable holding on to, I gave it all to him. Yes, me too. Same, girl, same. Because you keep on pushing it aside and pushing it aside, and guess what? It doesn't go anywhere. It does not. When you push crap under the rug, it goes out of sight. But is it not there anymore? Is it not just piling up? Yeah. It's all piling up. Just because you don't talk about it or you don't see it in your plain sight, it doesn't mean it's not there. So when you keep on piling it up, and then at the end, he still walks away from you, he still chooses someone else, he still says that, I don't feel it for you. Of course, you have nothing to lose anymore. You've got nothing to lose, so you let him have it. Yep, me too. Me too. So this is why people pleasing is not a badge of honor. It is nothing other than the slow poison that makes us so resentful that throughout the relationship, you don't get what you want. And at the end of the relationship, you just explode. So what good does that do? Those moments, very small moments of, oh, he likes me. Ah, he thinks I'm great. And then it fades away 2 seconds later. Yeah, I know, girl. I so know. Now, the last piece that I want to give you for the women and then this one is, I think most of you, if not all of you, are going to resonate with this, is the mastering the art of interdependence. So, not codependent, not Miss Hyper Independent. Some of you go into the codependent, that's where I used to be, that he is everything and anything to me. He's the world to me. I am nothing without this person's love and validation, and I need to get him to love me. I need to do something. I need to be the right person. And I get my self-worth from being in a relationship with a man, being with somebody that loves me, chooses me, wants to be with me, and gives me the validation just by calling me or texting me. This need, the trying to chase, trying to get a man to love me. The codependent stuff that my happiness depends on a man's validation. Me feeling worthy is what makes me, like, if it all depends on you. If you give me the validation, I'm worthy. If you don't give me a validation, I have to find a way for you to give me the validation. So that is the part that I know, if not all of you, but most of you, you know, the more you chase with that energy, trying to get a guy to love you, he's gonna run away from you. And men don't like that, obviously. No healthy masculine energy man is gonna want to commit to a woman that is like, I'm a loser without you. Like I've got nothing. Like, please come save me. If he's unhealthy, he's gonna love that. The fact that he gets to be everything for you in a way that now he gets to control you. He gets to control your happiness. He gets to control when you feel good enough and when you don't feel good enough. That's one thing. So that needy energy that makes you codependent, no. Now, Mr. Hyper Independent, we don't need any man ever. We are anything they can do, we can do better. I don't need anybody. My life is so full. My life is so amazing. I don't need a man. 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 None of us need a man. We are living in a society that we don't, for our survival, don't need men. It's true. We can make all the money in the world. We can hire security. Even if you think about it from coming from a place of having a man for security, just be so rich and then have security monitoring your house. You don't need it. But when you feel like, and when a man feels like there is no room for him in your life to bring anything to the table, that he is basically somebody that his existence doesn't even matter to you, then that gives off the energy of, don't come near me. You are nothing to me. Oh, me too. I've done too as well. I don't need you. I need you. I'm gonna die without you. I'm gonna die without you. I'm nothing without you. Are like, you piece of shit. You think you're anything? Like, no. Have you even seen me? Like, I rule the world. Like, I've done both. But so many of my clients, um, especially the ones that are high achievers, the ones that are like, they've gotten really, really hard in the working in the corporate world, and the higher they go, I mean, in every sort of business, but some of my highest achieving clients are the ones that they want to make sure the guy knows that I'm so well off, my life is so good, that it's not coming from a place of, I love my life and I cannot wait to share it with the right person. It's coming from a place of, I love my life and you insignificant thing. I'm just on a date with you. You're so lucky to be with me right now that, yeah, like that's the energy that they give off. And they think that that is confidence. They think that that is attractive. They think that is encouraging for a man. But no, it's not. Because a man's innate need is to be able to add to a woman's life. To be, like I said to you, like when giving back to a man is always because I'm grateful. That's how I did it, as I continue to do it in my relationship. He wants to be able to do something, to make a change, bring something into your life that is positive. And you having your guards up, You telling a man that how not needed, how unnecessary he is not going to motivate him. He is going to go for the woman that loves her life and is so available for more. And that's truly the essence of feminine energy anyways. Tell me if you can see this, that in your life, is it better? Let's talk about this way. Is it better to be needy and really need, like, have, I need this and I need that and I need this to feel okay? That's not a good place to be. Also, is it a good place to be that you've got everything and there's nothing else that can be added to your life that you would enjoy? I love desiring. I don't love needing, but I love desiring more. Not just things in my life, but more experiences, more connections, more laughter, more moments that I will never forget. No matter how much my husband romances me, I'm not like, okay, this was our last anniversary that I'm glad that you did this and then no more. Of course I wanted him for next year to do and give more. More is coming from a place of desire. And this is the essence, that a man wants to be able to add more to your beautiful full life already. No man wants to, no healthy man, I have to bring this up over and over. No healthy man wants to be the center of your life. Only wounded, narcissistic men do, so they can control you, so they can get the validation that she's broken without me, she's nothing without me. And no healthy man wants to be in a relationship that she feels that he is completely unnecessary. He has got nothing to give to her. So mastering the art of falling in love with your own life and being available for a man's love, being content with your own, but of course, desiring, not from a place of need, but from a place of expansion, because together we're better. Because together, I don't know about you, but watching a sunset on its own is beautiful. But when you share it with someone else, when you're eating a meal and it's delicious, it's wonderful. But when you're like, oh my God, this is so good, try it. That's it. Together we are better. But it doesn't mean that by yourself it sucks. So when you master that, ah, everything changes. And this is another point that I want to bring back to. This is why circular dating also makes you so desirable, because you are in abundance of men who are constantly coming towards you, that you are not in need of a man's attention. And this is a tool that will get you to this state, because I have actually clients, and this is the absolute truth. One of my clients that recently got engaged about 2 months ago or so, she actually didn't circular date. She was circular dating. With that, before getting engaged, she stopped circular dating because she didn't feel, she was very busy in her life to begin with, and the guy that she was seeing, he was very consistent, that the one that they got engaged to, but energetically, she really felt zero need. She was coming from a place of a lot of needy energy in the past. So she wasn't the blocked energy kind of a woman, but the hyper independent. She was the codependent, that she really enjoyed their dates and what he gave to her, but she didn't go home and think, I need another man to validate me. I need someone else to make me tell me that I'm beautiful, or if he doesn't for a day, I feel less than. So that is the part that when I work with clients, that's the place that I'm like, if you get there, then of course you don't need to circular date anymore. But having said that, this is the energetics that I want you to get to, that you are an invitation for more love, but you're not grabby. You're not trying to get it. You're not trying to get it. I say this to my clients all the time, the ones that they do their businesses online and their coaches. I'm like, your buyers will always can feel that when you are trying to get them to buy something from you, your hands are in their pockets, as opposed to when you present something and you're excited about it and you want to invite them in. You want them to come and enjoy it. There's a different energy. And then there are coaches out there. It's like, I don't need you. You could like nobody buy. If nobody buys, I don't care. That's not it either. That's also coming from a place of block. So this is the art of the interdependence. This is the art of I love my life and I'm available for your love to add to it. I am happy. I find so much joy in my life and I want to share it. I want to expand this love with someone else. It becomes an expander as opposed to it being either something that you are begging for or something that a man has to convince you to be that he is relevant, he should be relevant in your life. And I want to do a meditation with you. After the meditation, I'm also going to open the line to if any of you wants to be coached or you want to talk to me, raise your hand so I can have you come up with me. But I also wanted to share something with you. You may have seen it already in my emails that I've created something that whoever I've told thought I'm kind of nuts, that I'm kind of crazy, but I'm really excited to share it with you. This is something that I, with all of my heart, do believe, that will ensure your success in love and in life. This is an offer. It's called the Masterpiece House. And I have been dreaming about creating it for a long time, but I kept on going back and forth of how I want to create it, that it feels just as exciting for me as it is for them. And finally, it came to me the way that it was supposed to be, just right after we got our 200 engagement, which came from a self-study course. It wasn't doing a one-on-one coaching with me, but it was one of my courses, Attract the One Journey, especially. Oh, Julia, I'm so sorry that I wanted to talk to you, but I hope that I get to talk to you soon. So the Masterpiece House is my brand new membership, a month-to-month membership, which will give access to a library of courses that I think there are 12 courses on there. My best courses on relationships, feminine energy, confidence, whether you're single or married. And not only that, it is also giving you an access to me through the app called Telegram, where on frequent basis, I will be dropping audios, trainings, insights, teachings that will ensure you to hold the power, to hold the vision. The reason I'm doing this, first of all, being in more connection with my community, it is something that is very life-giving to me. I'm a 4-6 line. For those of you who know human design, I'm all about community. I'm all about being in close proximity. And when I think about this suite, that I get to talk to you frequently, I get to drop the things that I believe will help you, the things that I'm reading, the things that I'm learning. Oh, you are? I'm a 4-6 manifester, emotional manifester. And this way, you get access to a library of my courses for as long as you're a part of it. And it's gonna blow your mind with the price point that I've put it on. You get access to over a minimum $4,000 of courses that are in that library. And you also get this, if not daily, daily-ish points of contact with me where I'm going to share with you things, conversations like this, real conversations like this that I get to share what will make things move faster for you. I'm all about manifestation. I'm all about desires. And like I said, I have a lot of clients in all sorts of different realms. And this isn't the Masterpiece House, although the courses are focused on feminine energy, relationships, dating or being in a relationship, communication, a huge one, communication in magnetic scripts and in Golden Bridge. But nothing is off the table when it comes to the Telegram conversations that we're having, because I want this to be a group. This is why they call it the Masterpiece House, that you make your life into a masterpiece, that you make everything that you've ever wanted happen for you. And I personally, I'm in two masterminds. And the reason that I've stayed in the game for as long as I have when it comes to my personal development and my business is because I'm part of these conversations. It's because I've done events before. And the going into events, and I still do. But to this day, I love going into in-person events. But tell me if you've ever felt it or taken a program that you felt unstoppable, you felt like you could do it, and then after a while, the medicine wore off. After a while, when you went back home, things kind of went back to the way that they were. And being part of the masterminds that I am now, by regularly being able to be in these conversations, is what's giving me staying power. And also, the way that I am doing it is not just me talking to you. There is different tabs where you also get to ask your questions, you get to share, so I can read those and create the lessons, the trainings that I am for you based on the things that you're going through. So, okay, I'm gonna let somebody just private message me. Can you drop the link? Yes, I will absolutely drop the link for you to see it. So for those of you who are the founding members who are going to be joining me in this, is the price is insane. So right now it is $99 a month for you unlocking over $4,000 of courses immediately. But I don't ever want you to leave. So don't think that you come in and then you get the courses and it's done. I want to create a community with you, co-created with you, that this is the place for you that gives you and makes you feel unstoppable, where you plug into and you have conversations with women that are on the journey with you that make you feel like anything is possible for me. Because it is, because it absolutely is. But being able to have the conversation is unlike, like when you talk to your family, and I was talking about this to my best friend actually, and she said that this place, when I was talking about it with her, she was like, it's like you know, when you talk to your family about things, they love you and they want to support you and they want to protect you. So they, majority of times, they kind of like give you the kind of advice that is safe. But when you're in these conversations in the communities, and she is a part of my group coaching communities, is that they hold the safe space for you, but they keep on telling you and showing you that what is possible for you. So they support you in your vision as opposed to supporting in you to not get hurt, stay safe, right? So this is why I created this place for you, because I really want to for you to be able to have this space where you can get the courses, of course, go through the courses, whichever resonates with you, start there. And if you have any questions, okay, this is my situation, I don't know where to start, in the Telegram chat, there is a space for you to actually say, okay, this is where I am. What course should I take? What program should I be looking at first? That's why I created that. And then we also have these frequent check-ins together so that you can feel I have guidance. I have my place where I can continue to keep moving forward. Oh, I see somebody. Let me celebrate who joined. Ah, welcome, welcome, Karen. I think that's it. That's what your email it says. I'm so excited to have you in. But oh my God, I cannot tell you what this place is going to be like. And this is why I'm giving the rate that I am. This is a very obviously special rate because you're the founding members and you're going to co-create this together. But the price will go to $222 a month. But because my gift to you for being here with me, by the way, we've been now over 2 hours. Thank you so much. So I wanted to start here. It's not about, you know, making this offer cheap enough for you to say yes. It really wasn't my intention, to be honest with you, because I really do know the value of it. I've seen what it does to women. It is really something that I wanted to feel so good to me, to that we get to co-create something. And I wanted to make it so much wholesome that it feels like this is the best investment that you've ever made in yourself. Oh, you're so welcome. It's my absolute pleasure. I can talk about this stuff forever and ever. And this is why I'm creating this, because there was so much that I learn and talk to my friends and my community about, but I want women to stay in these conversations, to stay in their power. So this whole space for you is meant for you to not just do a self-study course by yourself, but to go through it, to have the community, to have these conversations and then keep on evolving. And whatever I create in the coming time that we have together, there are going to be specific programs that is just going to be for the Masterpiece House, and you're going to be getting it for the Masterpiece House funding members rate that you get. So I want to make it so good that you never want to leave. And I am somebody that truly gives my all and my best to my community. If I'm an overgiver, I'd rather give it to the places where I know the value is life changing. I'm no longer giving it to just anyone and everyone. I give it to women who want it, who desire it, who feel like this is this is life changing for them, because it is. So this is the place. If you have any questions around it, please let me know. But I'm really excited. I've already, if you enter it, you already go see that there is the couple of voice memos already waiting for you there. I created it and I wanted to model for you. And I said it in the voice memos as well, is that right now nobody knows even this exists. And I am already creating this voice memos because we don't need to first see, oh, is it gonna work? Then I'm gonna show up. No, I'm gonna show up and we'll see what's going to happen with it. I go first. I put my heart out there. I create without having any evidence it's going to work, because it is a true desire for me. This is not something that a course I put together. I love all of my courses, but this was something that came from a place of desire. And I decided that this is how my business, I wanted to feel for me. I wanted to feel connected. I want women to come and get everything that they need and keep on moving forward, and for me to feel really good. So being on Telegram allows me to, as I'm walking, to send you the voice memos as something is happening in real time in my life. And this is something that has helped me plenty with my mentors, is that when I learned how they process things when it happens to them, when they are going through something within their lives, how they navigate challenges, how, and for me, it's the same. If there's something is happening in my business, in my life, not necessarily, it could be a challenge or it could be something that I want to manifest in my life. I want to create in my life. You know, a lot of my Women of Masterpiece, which is in my group coaching program, they get all the behind the scenes, as it's no secret I'm going through my fertility journey, which has been a lot. It's been so much. But when I talk about it and the way that I navigate something as let's talk about when you get your heart broken every single month. Like that is the type of thing that when someone is on a fertility journey is going through. But am I going to to keep on going and keep on having my vision and my dream? Or am I going to keep just feeling sorry for myself and feeling like this can never happen to me? The doctors have given me a 1% chance. And I thank you for your feedback. If God was not going to give me what I desired, it wouldn't be a desire for me. So this is the type of conversation. Obviously, I can't go through everything and everything here, but it is something that we are real about it. We are determined about it. This is something that I do not want any woman, whether it is your relationship, fertility, your marriages, money, your health. I never want any woman to feel alone. So that's why I create the community. And that's why I want to invite you in. If this feels right to you, good to you at this rate, it's a month to month. So you can cancel anytime. You can cancel anytime. That's the crazy part. As long as you're part of the community, you have access to these courses, you have access to the Telegram. If you decide to upgrade to a year, so when you go on the sales page, you see that there is a monthly and then there is a yearly. It also saves you another 2 months, again, crazy rates. And it also gives you another bonus program, as well as being in we will have group coaching every quarters that I can actually bring you on and talk to you in our group coaching session. So I talk so much about it. I hope you're as excited as I am, because I'm over the moon. And I hope that it feels good to you, because truly this is about co-creating a masterpiece house together. The name means a lot to me, and I hope that you feel like it's your new home. So with that, I would love for us to go through a meditation together. This is something that I want you to really let yourself feel. Let yourself go there with me. So, are you ready? I want you to get comfortable. I want you to lean back in your chair. Take a couple of deep breaths. I won't put an audio because sometimes when I do, my voice goes out. So I want you to be able to hear me. But arrive to this moment here with us. And let's step to a vision that transforms the way you see possibilities when it comes to love. It's time for you to feel your full power, your magnetism, and your worth. Take a deep breath in and out. Let all the tension go. Let the self-doubt go. Let every fear go. One more time, deep breath in. And out and let go. Now, I want you to take a moment and see yourself in an outfit that makes you feel like an absolute queen. You're wearing something, your hair, whether you're wearing makeup, your nails, your shoes, you feel so magnetic and beautiful. Take a look at yourself in the mirror, you twirl, and you're like, damn, I look so good. My skin is radiant. My body feels so perfectly hugged in this dress, in this clothes that I'm wearing. I feel beautiful. Say to yourself, I am beautiful. I am magnetic. I am so beautiful. Now, after you bask in your own beauty, watch how you're standing. Let the beauty that you see in yourself, that energy shine through you, through your eyes, through your body. Stand like you are the goddess that you are, because you are. Now, I want you to imagine yourself, you're standing in front of a grand, beautiful door. Notice what color it is. Notice what the handle is like. And reach for the handle and open the door, where you will find a beautiful ballroom where there are 100 men. They are not just any men. Each one of them is a gentleman. They're dressed so well. They're radiating respect, safety, and admiration. Men who know how to honor and cherish women. Take a look at them. And as you walk in, notice how every head turns towards you. The energy of the room shifted. It's as if time slowed down. You continue to walk in. Have your shoulders back. Have your head up high. Let a warm smile spread through your face. Have a soft gaze. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to say anything. Your presence alone commands their respect and admiration. Take a notice. How do you feel as you walk into the room? You're so safe here. Can you feel your confidence growing with every step? Can you let yourself radiate more? Can you let yourself own your magnetism? Can you let yourself be at ease? Carry yourself like the queen that you are, knowing that you belong here. Look at these perfectly polished men. Now there's a chair, a beautiful chair that is waiting for you. Go ahead and sit down in this velvety, comfortable, beautiful chair. And keep on feeling yourself radiating and make eye contact with all these beautiful men who can't stop looking at you without feeling overwhelmed. You're not in lack. You're not here to please or win them over, because you are here and you get to choose. You get to choose. Say it. I get to choose. You're surrounded by abundance. There is no need to settle, no need to chase, and you don't need to close down. A man is going to approach you now with your permission. He has a rose in his hand and he offers it to you. And while you appreciate it, you can take the rose and then, with a smile on your face, let him know that thank you, but I'm not interested. You didn't feel it with him. You can receive the rose, you can receive his admiration, but you don't owe him anything. And watch how he respectfully walks away. It's okay that he's disappointed. Now keep looking around. Keep making eye contact with these wonderful men. And notice one of them is approaching you now with another rose. And you have a good feeling about this one. You're curious. You're open to getting to know him. He comes, offers you the rose. You take it from him. And you smile and say, maybe. Maybe. You don't know him, but you're willing to know him and see the power of a guy that is amazing among 99 other men that feels like a maybe to you. How does that feel? Notice what he does. Notice what happens to him. He appreciates it. He appreciates the chance. Enjoy the rose. Enjoy the possibility. Notice how safe and confident and empowered you feel. You don't need anything here. You already have everything. There is zero need for you to go in lack, because there is abundance of men. Love is coming to you from everywhere. From everywhere. Enjoy being in your power, in your magnetism. Enjoy having the power to choose. Enjoy feeling worthy, deeply desired. And you can stand up from your chair with the same level of grace Start walking towards the door. Enjoy all of them watching you walk away. Knowing that they're all there wanting you and you get to pick and choose whoever you want. Take a deep breath in and breathe out. Open the door and come back to the room with the energy of abundance, choice, and empowerment. Welcome back. How do you feel? How did that exercise make you feel? And by the way, even if you're married, you get to feel that way. You get to be a woman that walks in the room, not asking to be looked at, but her energy commands it. Her openness and the fact that she is in love with herself, that she feels beautiful, is going to command it. This is who you get to be. This is the energy that I want you to start walking with. This is the type of energy that you get to live your life from. And I'm not kidding you when I say that if you start walking like this, feeling like this, in the grocery store, at the mall, in a coffee shop, no matter where you go, that you are going to start turning heads and you are going to feel the abundance of you are in power. There is a lot of choices out there for you, but you are the one that gets to choose. You let yourself feel it. The energy is the feeling of, I am enough. I don't need anyone to look at me because I look at me, because I see my own beauty, because I don't feel afraid to be seen. I'm not looking at who is looking at me. I'm looking at me, and they're all looking at me. And if they don't, that's okay too. But that energy, this is where you get it when you don't need it, but you are giving it to yourself. Your cup feels so full that it becomes an overflow. It does need you, though, to feel your best. I am never someone to tell a woman that to feel your best, you need to dress this way or you have to look a certain way. You know, when you look your best, you feel your best. You know what that feels like, whether it's in your workout clothes or it's in a gown or when you're going to a coffee shop wearing something that makes you feel beautiful. But more than that, looking beautiful, feeling beautiful. And that comes when we take care of ourselves, when we treat ourselves like the person that we love the most in the world. And that turns things around. The 100 Men exercise is something that when I first did it when I was doing the work with Roy Ray, at first it was uncomfortable. At first, I didn't want the attention because I was so used to being invisible. But the invisible wallflower The one that is chameleon and just gets blended into the walls is not the one that commands love, is not an embodiment of love, is not scared of love. The one that shows up in her life is ready. And this is what I want you to walk away with. If you're single, walk into your life ready to say yes. Dressed as ready to say yes. Feel ready to say yes. Feel the possibility is everywhere. Remember the woman that her date didn't show up, but she was still ready for love. She was ready to say yes to someone else sharing a meal or drink with her. She never closed the door. That's the energy, that nothing closes the door on you. You don't play the I'm disappointed I stop. I look for other people to look at me for me to feel beautiful. I look for other people to tell me I'm good enough to feel good enough. None of that. But you own that within yourself. You feel that within yourself, and you watch how things turn around. Oh, now I understand what my daughter has, that has so many people turn her head to look at her. She has this energy you talk about. Yes. Yes. To be honest with you, when this started to shift with me, I was older than what I used to be in my early 20s. Technically, in my early 20s, I was more youthful. I was supposed to be more desirable, but it wasn't until much later, years and years later, that I learned how to actually feel this way about myself. For as long as I felt like I wasn't enough, I acted like I wasn't enough. Whether it was I would blend into a wall and become a shapeshifter, that I would be anything that you want me to be, or it was by being at times that I would overdo it, being obnoxious, laughing really, really hard, trying to grab attention. Not proud of it, but I did, because I acted like I'm not enough. We all know women who try really hard. You're doing too much. And we don't have to judge, because like I said, I've done it. But it's coming from a place that I feel like I'm not enough. And the same goes for the person who tries to not be seen at all because she feels like she's not enough. She feels like she's not good enough to be seen. And the other one feels like if I don't do something, I myself am not enough. So I have to grab attention. You see that there is the shift. I feel enough. So I just walk and smile, and I don't need anyone to look at me. But they do, it feels good. If they offer something to me, I can take it without feeling obligated that I have to give something back. I give them my commitment now. Okay, I will go on a date with you. Okay, I will stay in a relationship that goes nowhere with you because you are giving me something. It's better than nothing. And with someone that is maybe, maybe I will. Maybe I will. I don't know, maybe. Possibility. But owning that, owning you, your desire, feeling that within yourself. I'm ready for love. I'm ready to say yes to love. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm getting ready to be ready, 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 ready. That energy of ready is open, it's expansive, it's full of possibilities. And that's what I want you to walk away with. We are at 2 over, close now to 3 hours. So I'm going to let you go. Thank you so much for being with me here. This was so much fun, so much fun, so much fun. And I cannot wait to welcome you into the Masterpiece House. For those of you that this is the right fit for you. Oh my goodness. It's going to be like nothing else. I think that the to have access to this space is just not, there is no putting a price on it because of what you will get access to and because of the connections that we get to have together. You're so welcome. I also wish you all the best, my loves. And we will be sending you the replay for this. You're so welcome. Oh, I'm so glad, Esther. That makes me so happy. That makes me so happy. And I hope to see you either on the Masterpiece House or in the next one, but keep an eye out for the email that's going to come out. If you want to watch the replay again, please do that. And the link is going to be in the email that we will send out, as well as if you have any questions, please let us know before the price goes up. I mean, it's up to you. You can always, I think that this price is a no-brainer for anyone, even if it goes up. But I'm really, really excited to kickstart you with you in the Masterpiece House. I love you so much, and I will see you very soon.